Hello and welcome to Community Matters, a podcast from the Canadian Association of Community Health Centres. I'm your host, Hilary Leblanc. On this episode of the podcast, I am speaking with Olu Villasa, manager of the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance from Black Creek Community Health Centre based in Toronto, Ontario. Black Creek CHC provides a wide range of health and social services geared to the diverse needs of individuals, families, and groups in the area of Toronto. We have featured Black Creek on Community Matters in the past. Please visit our YouTube to watch our episode with Executive Director Cheryl Prescott and staff member Michelle Weston. How are you today, Olu?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Hilary. Good morning to everybody else. But yes, I'm great and happy to be here.
Awesome. Super excited to have you on. So as I've mentioned before, we've already featured Black Creek, which is we're pleased to have you guys featured again for something more specific. But I would like to just circle back if anyone's never heard of Black Creek CHC before or is wondering for looking for some more context. If you could just give a small summary of the services and clients that Black Creek Community Health Center serves.
Yeah, for sure. So Black Creek Community Health Center, as you said, is a community health center, which we have health and social services that we provide to vulnerable communities in the Northwest region of Toronto. It's been there for 30 years, again, promoting health promotions, community services programs, and we're all about community capacity building. And this is specifically to my program, which specifically focuses on Black entrepreneurs and the intersectional groups within the Black community. So that would be LGBTQ, people with disabilities, as well as any other vulnerable groups that are within the Black community. We focus on entrepreneurship. And so the services that we provide is pretty comprehensive, based off of Black Creek Community Health Center's model and the approach to how we do things. So ours specifically is focusing on the economic well-being of an individual. Again, a lot of folks come into a Black Community Health Center looking for health services and social services, but they're also looking for job opportunities as well as business supports to anything in their lives. So this is where I come in with Black Entrepreneurship Alliance.
Wonderful. I find the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance to be quite innovative. It's something that I in my small time working with the community health centers and with CATCH, I have not seen anything like this. I'm just wondering if you could give a brief summary on how the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance came to be, some of the issues that are being addressed, and the Black Creek Community Health Center's role in all of that.
Yeah, for sure. So how everything came to be is it's a long time coming. Again, Black Creek Community Health Center has been in the community for over 30 years, as well as York University, situated in the Junior Finch community. And so they both kind of collaborate together because they found out that just looking at across the board on the Northwest region, there is no specific supports, business supports for entrepreneurs. And so, and historically, the Black community has been just disenfranchised when it comes to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So they were like, hey, this is a great opportunity to fill that gap. So wherever there's a gap, let's fill it. So they both co-created this initiative to really tackle the historical lack of access of capital, knowledge, and supports that Black entrepreneurs face within the area. Again, some of the gaps more specifically that we really focus on is just that business supports comprehensively. There isn't anything outside of just business 101 workshops. So we really wanted to really build up successful companies because we realized those are the anchors to communities in terms of just building up the economic wealth, well-being, as well as making a community more resilient. So from there, we created a whole bunch of programs from ideation all the way to scale. And so where Black Creek comes in is we're all about community capacity building. And so with that, we're just trying to build as well as enhance what's already there in the community, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I think it's wonderful. As you mentioned, you wanted to do more than just like Business 101, and you've got 4 different programs with the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance: the Product Feasibility Bootcamp, the Venture Capitalist Program, Business and Leadership Essential Certificate Program, and the Food and Beverage Accelerator Program. I was wondering if you could give an overview of what those 4 different programs offer.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, we have 6 programs.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. No, yeah. So we really thought this through, just in terms of um, just a Black entrepreneurship as a Black entrepreneur as a whole, not just on the business sense. Like, how are they feeling health wise? How are they feeling spiritually? How are they feeling physically? Because we recognize that entrepreneurship is a very privileged pursuit. So we're just trying to meet them where they're at and also recognize their experiences. So we have a whole list of different programs, and they're all, I guess, split up into 3 streams. So we have the food stream, we have the tech stream, and then we have the community program stream. So I'll start with the food stream. So the first one is the Product Feasibility Bootcamp, which is for early stage food and beverage entrepreneurs that want to validate their product. And so they have about 10 weeks to do that. And we take them through customized workshops. We take them through, we give them mentors that will walk them through with 20 years of industry experience, walking them through from point A to Z. I really want to kind of push them through, not only to validate their product, but actually validate it within farmer markets, as well as getting into stores, which we have been doing, which is great in the short time that we've been operational, which has only been, I guess, a couple months, I would say. We started in October. So we've been making some traction. And then from there, we have the Food Accelerator Program, which is a little bit more longer. It's about 5 months. And it's really for folks that are already in the game, making a little bit more revenue, but they hit the wall and they want to get into mass retail distribution. So from there, within those 5 months, they learn about fundamentals, financials, regulatory, operations, expansions. We really go through the rigors of it. Again, we'll be launching that. We're actually accepting applications until March 11th. We're going to be launching in May 4th. So I'm really excited for that particular program. And then over in the tech stream, we have Venture Catalyst, which is focusing on the Black founder experience in tech. And so that is focusing on startups, focusing, it's a 6-week bootcamp style sprint to the end, and really try to get their minimal viable product, their MVP, and then getting them access to mentors, getting them access to different networks to build up that product. We have about 10 founders, Black founders in that cohort, and I'm pretty excited for that. We just launched that in February. And then we have over in the community program stream, oh, sorry, let me just jump back. The investment bootcamp, the one that's not mentioned, that is really tackling the access or the lack of access to capital when it comes to Black founders in tech. So we really go through the fundraising process. We go through just bringing in investors, and we kind of work with those investors with anti-racism and unconscious bias training to let them know about the experiences of Black founders when they're raising capital. So that is going to be launching pretty soon. And I'm also pretty excited for that because that's tackling a really big issue. And as well as we have 2 other programs in the community program stream, which is, we have one with Schulich, which is the Schulich Executive Education Center, and that is working with them to kind of support Black professionals and founders with their career goals, as well as business acumen skills. So we're really trying to build up community leaders in the Black Creek, Junior Finch area, as well as the broader Southern Ontario community. And then we have Black Business Essentials, which is a 5-workshop series, really focusing on the fundamentals of starting a business, and that's really focused on local entrepreneurs as well as folks, mom and pop shops that want to pivot towards using digital tools, so that digital transformation. So in a nutshell, and it's a long spiel, but we have a lot of programs, and we really want to support Black entrepreneurs and professionals in the Black Creek and Jenner Finch community.
It sounds to me like the thought process of the wraparound care of a regular community health center model applied to the wraparound care of trying to be a business and really thinking through all of the steps it really takes to be a successful business person on top of being a Black business person. It's really, really well thought out. I am curious, I know you mentioned some of these programs are just starting out and it's only been a few months since a lot of this has been launched. But I'm just wondering if there's already been any successes or challenges with any of these programs that have already started.
Yeah, so it's just started. So I would say we're still learning that learning processes of the programs. So to define the successes, we're still going through it since it's happening right now. So I would say really define success through our program participants. So the product feasibility bootcamp is one of the programs I really want to highlight, and that is specifically around the successes of our participants in cohort 1. So we had individuals that they define success differently, and so some of them define it as creating a product and getting it sampled and getting it market validated. And some want to get into farmers markets, which is great. And some that are kind of tired with the farmers markets and want to go on getting into stores. So we've been able to do that and push that needle in that short time frame. And that is due to how we think about our programs. We think about the multiple end goals of an entrepreneur. So we don't just define success as one thing, but multiple things, which is great. And as well as our programs are designed as an internal ecosystem. So not everybody will be suited for product visibility, but they may be suited for maybe Black business essentials, and they may come back through another route, maybe through the investment bootcamp or the business and leadership program that we have with Schulich. So there's how it's designed is designed in the ways that there's different entry points to get it in, and there's different success, I guess, pathways for an entrepreneur to take. So I really like that in that aspect. And then the challenges that we've been facing so far in the short time that we've been operational is that everything is digital. So the programs that we provide is online. And then for the Black community, we're very relational. We're very in-person, face-to-face. So that can be challenging in that regard. We've been having some success in that area, but there's still challenges with that because, again, not everybody has that digital literacy. So we're finding that we have to teach that we had to teach that on the same way that we're teaching business acumen skills or anything to do with entrepreneurship. So that has been a challenge, but we've been tweaking and we've been flying on the go to do that.
As you mentioned, again, it may be a bit soon to tell to be able to answer this next question, but I'm curious if you're noticing anything about the people who are participating and what they're able to accomplish, or maybe what their goals are, what they're hoping to accomplish, or what those different success avenues, as you sort of described them, could be with these programs.
Yeah, for sure. So so for me, it's as an entrepreneur, those different avenues of success and everything else, it's really depending on where they want to be. So we really customize our workshops, and we customize just certain things, and we have a human touch with our entrepreneurs and residents to really not tweak, but just give that human feel. And again, creating that ecosystem so it's always there. So we just don't, it's not a start and end date with us. Just due to having York University with us, we have different partnerships and that ecosystem already in place to kind of always have that person there and always checking in on that person to ensure success or where they want to be. So for me, I like it because we've created a culture already in this short time, a culture based off of excellence and success for folks. Again, it's different levels for everybody. We divide it into early stage, where just getting that business number is a success for someone, and then we build it for some folks that want investment or want to get into another distribution channel. So Yeah, if I answered that correctly, it's we've thought it through all the programs that we have.
There's different options for what success means to every business person, and I definitely understand that as well. So that makes sense. I am curious as well. So some people may read that like these are business programs and not really understand how they fit the wraparound approach of a community health center. Unfortunately, some people think community health center and they only think of primary care and they don't know all of the different facets that are offered to people who go to a community health center. I'm wondering if you can explain how these programs are in line with Black Creek Community Health Center's values and approach to health and well-being.
Yeah, for sure. I think I touched a little bit on it in the beginning, just in terms of the vision and mission that Black Creek Community Health Center has, is that we envision like a healthy, resilient, empowered community, which kind of connects people together and communities together. And we also that comprehensive health service piece, because for how we see it is that it's just we don't meet them just in the health and social realm, but also that just economic well-being in terms of finances, in terms of, okay, do I have employment? So we see entrepreneurship and we see these business programs as an alternate pathway for economic well-being, as well as having a resilient community, because it's the multiplier effect. If we have successful companies already established in communities, people get jobs, and then so on and so forth. They can access different things, and the needs are met. So that's how we see it when it comes to our business programs, in just terms of it's just that support piece that supports health, as well as that well-being of that individual. So we're really focused on, okay, is there financial health in place? Because again, economic entrepreneurship is a very privileged pursuit. So we want to ensure that all their needs are met before anything else. So that's how we see the business programs, as well as just ensuring that the services that we provide are in vulnerable communities and they have been displaced. So we're all about creating resiliency. We're all about creating future readiness in our community members, as well as the businesses that they produce. And we really want to see just anchors, them being not displaced due to external reasons. That could be gentrification, that could be I would say the main thing would be gentrification in terms of displacement. So we see these, if we build successful companies, people can stay in place and just maintain successful tendencies and just maintain a successful life and fully participate in the economy.
What do you think these types of programs say about the importance of community health centers and why there is a greater need for federal and provincial investment in community health centers across our country?
Yeah, for sure. So community health centers are usually the first gateway for folks to access services that may be out of reach to them due to a myriad of reasons. That could be location, that could be resources, that could be finance. So we really meet the needs of many individuals that are just disenfranchised or just cut off from the main supply of resources. So we are there. We are the frontline workers. We are the frontline, I would say, ambassadors, or creating those pathways for folks to fully participate in the economy. And so for me and these programs, there is a need for them, because without them, we're not really tapping into the full potential of individuals, but also what we could provide to the economy. It's just untapped if you look at the numbers. So I would say for community health centers, again, they are the first responders, they're the frontliners, and as well as anchor institutions that make up the fabric of communities. And I feel like just with this program, the federal government funding it, they realize this, right? So, and also realizing that leveraging these centers just to provide comprehensive access to services, but also meeting people where they're at. So I'm all about leveraging partnerships, and I feel like the government should also realize this, which they really are. They're trying to, but also backing up with financial resources to continue the good work that we've been doing.
100%. I couldn't agree more. I really want to thank you so much for your time today, Olu. And just curious if anyone wanted to learn more about the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance or wanted to sign up for any of the programs, or even just wanted to learn more about Black Creek Community Health Center, where could they find more information?
Yeah, for sure. They can go to the Black Creek Community Health Center website, which is bcchc.com, to look up our resources and services. And if there's a tab that says Black Entrepreneurship Alliance, if you look at the tab, it's a drop down. It has all of our programs, the program timelines. Again, we are also creating our own standalone website, so look out for that in the near future. And again, you can also access our resources, specifically Black Entrepreneurship Alliance, also through the York University website as well. So I would just Google Black Entrepreneurship Alliance, and we will pop up not only on our website, Black Creek Community Health Center, but also York University.
Awesome. I'm so excited to see what comes out of these programs, and it's an amazing way to innovate and to really engage the community. I want to thank you again for your time today.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Hillary.
Thanks. Thank you for listening to Community Matters, a podcast from the Canadian Association of Community Health Centres. To learn more about our association and the important work of community health centres across Canada, go to www.cachc.ca.